Okay.
I
So
can.
we
Yes.
we got together yesterday and we reached out to Sadiq reached out to admin, Deji, and I think one of the mentors trying to get the details we needed. And we eventually got something, and this is what we all put together yesterday. So in terms of hierarchy, this is apparently what happens in Blue Sky. So we have at the top, the Oga at the top, the CEO, which is Deji. Then next in line, in the lower tier are the agile coaches, admin, program manager, and resource manager. And just underneath, we have the different guilds. So for this cohort, we have the ADM, which wasn't there in the past. So this is what we have for the tier beneath the agile coaches. And finally, we now have the intern, and that's the ones at the bottom of the pecking order. So for Blue Sky, these are the details that we're able to glean for their structure in terms of hierarchy.
Okay, well done, guys. At least you've done something. I'm happy that you've come up with something. The question I want to ask is this. Why is your ADM and APM, who are you reporting to? Because this, your organograph needs to show me, see, let me say this to you.
Hello?
For those of you that are working.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Somebody is saying hello, hello. Please, can you mute yourself if you are not talking? And those of you that have background noises, please mute yourself, except you are talking. I don't like it when I'm training and I'm hearing, oh, bring the spoon. Oh, can you get me my hair? I don't like to hear that. It distracts others. Are we clear, guys? Please. All right. So Tosin can't hear anything. Please, can you respond to Tosin? Let me respond to him or her. Other people can hear. You might need to log out and log in. Log out and log back in. Okay. Every other person can hear, right?
Yes.
All right. So now, if you look at this now, I want you to explain the line management to me. Okay. Who is going to do that? Aso, are you the one explaining the line management to me? This is critical in project management, and that's the reason I asked for your organo chart.
Yeah, I can make a try. So based on the structure we got, hence we're able to put this together. The question you're asking is, who does the ADM and APM report to? So according to this structure, it's the agile coaches, and if they're not able to, then it will be the admin. So these are the two.
Agile coaches. That doesn't really.
Yeah. Like I said,
your delivery manager. It depends on your definition of delivery manager. Your delivery manager should not, in the real sense of it, should not be reporting to your agile coach, because a delivery manager operates on a program level. Especially when you're talking of a delivery lead. Does this make sense?
It does.
Yes, it does.
It does. It does, definitely.
So if you look at it, your project manager, your agile project manager, cannot be reporting to your agile coaches. You have a program manager. Project managers And let me just make this very clear to you. And the reason I'm explaining this is because I'm trying to teach you Agile process, Agile approach, which is what many organizations are using at the moment. You see that they have a blend of waterfall and Agile. And some would have what we call safe Agile, where they have the element of safe and they have the element of waterfall. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Does this make sense?
Yes.
All right. So with that, if you look at where we are with that, because I need you to look at this properly. A program manager, all right, operates on the program level. A delivery lead operates on the program level. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ask you're asking your project manager or your agile delivery lead to be reporting to admin. What does admin know about delivery? What does admin know about delivery? Tell me.
Nothing.
Nothing. So if you talk of Scrum Master, is Scrum Master reporting to agile coaches? Fantastic. That's fine. I understand that. That's a good one. Okay. Now here you have your director. Where are your directors? There is no director here. You have CEO. Where is the director in this organo chart?
Sir, Femi, quick question, right? Let me understand this. So were we supposed to get the accurate organo chart for Blue Sky, or were we supposed to create a hypothetical one?
You are supposed to get the one for Blue Sky because what you are doing is not hypothetical.
Okay, so and hence
real.
I said at the start that we reached out to the CEO, we reached out to admin, we reached out to the we reached out to the mentors. Nobody. We had to resource this on our own.
Yes.
So this info is what we couldn't just come today without giving you anything.
And I love that.
No, yeah, nobody. So yeah, I'm sorry that that's we finished this maybe like 11, 12 last night. So I'm sorry that nobody.
No. See, guys, that's the whole essence of learning. And I love that. The whole essence of learning is what you are doing now. Why? Because this does not exist already.
Oh.
This, if they have it, they would have been able to give it to you. Now you can put this on your CV to say that as an agile project manager or as a delivery manager, I created a framework for Blue Sky Citadel. Do you know what that means? That gives you a big bonus over everybody else. I created a framework and I created an organo chart for the organization. I was part of the team that, because they were at the start, they were trying to put things, we were able to put structures. I was able to put structure in place. That's what many organizations are looking for. They want somebody that knows how to put structure in place. They want people that are proactive. Somebody that you don't need to tell them everything they need to do before they do it. You don't want to be like my children. If you don't ask them to carry things from somewhere, they won't take it. They'll be looking at you. So what organizations are looking for is not somebody they will spoon feed. They want somebody to come and take burdens off them. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
So because they didn't have this, what the questions you want to ask now, based on what I've said to you is, DG, do we have a director in this organization? And it will tell you, yes, there's a director. Or, oh, there are no directors. Oh, I don't have any director. It's just me, CEO. So who rub minds with you as a CEO? Are you just in your own world? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
They say that a tree can never make a forest. Is it possible for a tree to make a forest?
Not at all.
Mhm.
So if a CEO is just sitting there and there is nobody rubbing minds with him somewhere that they meet directly together, there's problem. So if he has director or directors, we need to know. He needs to give you the name. Those directors, who are the people directly under the directors? Is a program manager reporting to the, because these are things they don't have. These are structures they don't know. And you are here to learn that structure and help them to put it in place. Are we clear?
Yes.
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 So you would never see an organization where project manager is reporting to admin. It's not possible. If you go to any interview, see, there are some interviews they would ask you, do you know about line management? What do you know about line management? Do you know why they are asking?
No.
Because you need to know who you are reporting to.
Okay.
Your reporting line is your line manager. That's the person that can defend you. That's the person that can put you in trouble. If your line manager doesn't like you, you are in trouble. You will soon lose the job. If your line manager likes you, your line manager will defend you till the end, no matter what anybody says. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So you need to know that's why your line manager will meet with you on a weekly basis to check on how you are doing. Some will meet with you almost every day when you are just starting to give you every support you need. So for me, this you have tried and I'm happy with what you've done. But based on the feedback I've given you now, you know what to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, we'll go back. At least we have something we can now work with. So we'll now ask the questions. APM and ADM is obviously a new cohort. So we'll now find out who ideally should. So we will use this as the springboard to ask the right questions, then populate this accurately.
Okay. So in a normal way, in a normal setting, your agile coaches, they operate on the program level. You see, there are some roles that we call supportive roles. An agile coach plays a supportive role. Agile delivery manager is above the scrum master. And you need to know that. When you have a delivery lead, in agile, we don't have program managers. But in waterfall, we call them program managers. In agile, we call them delivery leads. Does that make sense? But some organizations have mixed them up. There are many organizations, they've mixed them up. You go online, some people online have actually mixed some of these things up. Every dictionary just puts whatever they think. They just put it online and people read and people get confused and get confused more. When we have program manager, in waterfall, we have program manager, we have project manager. A project manager reports to a program manager. That's the reason I taught you what I taught you on Tuesday. That's why we said there is project, there is program, there is portfolio. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So a delivery lead, when we talk of, as we go through our framework today, you would understand what I'm saying. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thing you want to show me because of time?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's
I gave you homework, guys. Talk to me.
Mm, yeah.
I don't like lazy people, so I need to be sure you're all ready to work. So
Yeah. The rest, I think the rest, the other two were individual questions.
Individual assignment.
so have you guys done it?
Yes.
Yes.
So what did you
Yes.
do? You thought I've forgotten what I asked you to do?
No,
I gave you homework on dependencies to tell me
Yeah.
what dependencies. You give me examples. I gave you homework on business case and project charter, right?
Yeah.
And I gave you homework on stakeholder management. What is RACI? What does it mean?
Yeah.
So who wants to start for me? Did you guys do it? Or one of you can represent what you've all. For now, if you think you are not gaining as an individual, nothing stops you guys from working together as a team so you can learn. Come together, learn. Challenge yourselves. Think out of the box. I love it when people meet and they are arguing. You know, sometimes when I get into my students and I see them, they are doing their work and they argue, no, you can't do that. And some people say, no, those people, they're just, I love it. It means everybody is thinking. What I don't want is where somebody would say, 2 + 2 is 2, and everybody else would say, yes, it's 2. 3 + 3 is 4. Everyone, yes, it's 4. No, I don't like people like that. All right?
Okay.
You guys want to work? Then work. You need to get your hands dirty. So talk to me. Does any of you have anything to show me quickly? We haven't got time.
I think a charter.
I want you to show me something. Don't tell me.
Oh, show it. Oh, sorry. I thought we was meant to answer the question.
You've got to get your hands dirty.
That's right.
Yes. Show me. Show me.
I wrote it down in a notebook. I didn't not typed or anything like that. Handwritten. Okay. Except if you want us to take a picture and share it or something.
All right. Every time when I give you work to do, because I may ask you to present, make sure you put it in PowerPoint. It's part of your learning.
Okay.
Please don't come and present to me from Word. Don't do presentation to me from Word, because Word does not give you capability to present. Use PowerPoint or some other tools that would allow presentation. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
So when we say dependency, what were the examples I gave you on Tuesday? When we talk about dependency mapping, what were the examples of dependencies that I gave you? Who's going to talk?
It gave SS, which is start to start.
SF, start to finish.
And SF. Okay.
Finish to start.
Yeah, FS.
Then SF, start to finish.
No, FF, finish to
SS, start to start.
Can you see why I need your PowerPoint? I need to see what you're saying, guys.
Okay.
I don't want all these FF, SF. No. I need to see what you're showing me. So I want examples. That's what I gave you. I told you I want examples of each of them. Where are the examples?
I can go with an example for start to start.
Yes.
Okay, so an example I have is if you're excavating the ground to lay the foundation. So as you excavate, you at the same time, once you start the process, in pouring the concrete sludge that you require for the foundation, it's done almost at the same time. So you don't excavate and leave it fallow for a long time. So it's, you're excavating, you're filling at the same time. So it's something that goes on almost simultaneously. That's
okay, fantastic. So excavation and filling happens at the same time. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Be it a lie, be it true, you've given an example that is valid. Do you understand? What I'm looking for is for everybody to understand what you've just said now, Arthur, that start to start means if you don't start this, you cannot start that. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
So if you don't start this task, and Arthur has given us a very good example, excavation. As you are excavating, you are feeling it. As you are excavating, you are feeling it. You cannot excavate and leave it. At the same time, you cannot feel except you are excavating. Can you see start to start?
Yeah.
Any other person? Any other example? Thank you for that.
I'll go for start to finish.
Uh-huh.
Party planning.
Party planning.
So,
Uh-huh.
Party planning, right from agreeing on a date, venue, how many number of people, menu, the dishes that they're gonna eat, sending out the invitation, RSVP, the party taking place, and that would be right from the beginning of planning to implementation, then to the end of that's to the end of the party. That's start to finish. Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm looking
And then
for. Thank you. You tried.
and then
Thank you, Tosin. What I'm looking for is the example. I'm not saying from the start to finish. That's not what I'm looking for.
Right.
I think you got my question wrong. All right.
Right. Okay.
Well done. Thank you for doing that. But I think you got my question. The question I'm asking is, don't forget, we're talking about dependencies, Tosin. We're saying, except you start this, you cannot finish this task. Except you start this particular task, you cannot finish this one that you have started before. So which means you're finishing this particular task is dependent on you starting that particular task. That's what start to finish means. Is it clearer now, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I need your pictorial examples. Now they're all looking at me now.
Okay, so just so that is well driven to mind. So if I was going to use party planning as an example, so which means yes, planning has taken place, all implementation has happened, then the party has taken place. So which means that if there was no planning, nothing can be implemented, and if it was not implemented, the party could not have taken place, and we couldn't have said the events has taken place. Or how does it apply to that?
Vague. I understand you. It's just that that's a little vague.
Okay. So do you mean it in terms of the example that I've given?
Yes, I mean, for example, you want to talk about food. You gave example of food the other time. All right. So sorry, somebody is raising his hand. What?
Okay.
You want to say something, Gail?
I want to try. If we talk of start to finish, I think I believe a typical example can be baking of a cake. If you don't start by baking a cake, you will not be able for you to ice the cake and decorate the cake for the cake to get finished. So you start by baking the cake. After baking the cake, you have to ice it. While you are icing the cake, you do your necessary decoration. And after doing the decoration, then you can talk of finishing the cake. The process has started and it has ended by decorating the cake, and it's ready to be used for a party.
Okay, you tried. Well done. Any more? Let's see. Maybe I want something that will make it very clear to all of you. You have been doing something. You have been doing something. You want to finish that, but you cannot finish it until you start another thing.
Hello, sir. What if we say we have to put the frame of the door before we fix the door?
You have to do what?
There must be a frame on the door, on the window.
Yes.
Before the door can be fixed.
Yes. Yes. You want to finish. You want to say that you have finished something. But somebody needs to start something. before you can say, I have finished mine. Except somebody starts a task, you cannot answer. I want all of you to think out of the box. I can think of many things on my head, but I'm not going to give you because I want you to think.
Okay, sir. If can we say, like the example I've just given now, you have to finish putting the door and the case before the marshal man does the bricklayer. Now dress it up.
Fantastic. That can be a good one. Yeah. For example, a bricklayer cannot say, I have finished. He has been doing everything else. Or the person that is plastering the house, he has finished everything else. But except you put the example you gave now, except they put the windows and they shock all the sides of it and then cement it together and plaster it, the bricklayer cannot go home to say, I've finished my job. Yeah, that can be a good example. That can be one, yes. But I want more. Tosin?
Can I use student admission process?
Uh-huh.
So, right from student application shortlisting, the admission team would shortlist and all that and complete enrollment until they have completely enrolled a student into the school. The student cannot say, and they've issued an ID card, the student cannot say they are bona fide students of that school. So which means that right from the application into the school,
yes,
through to the to the shortlisting or the admission what's it called? The registration process. All through to them fully being issued an ID card, then they can be called a full student, a bona fide student of that school. So which means that they've gone through the whole registration process from the beginning, from the application, all through to the registration and until they are now called a bona fide student by being given an ID card to study their choice of course. Would that be a start to finish, or would it take them to?
You see, that's working the other way around, Tosin. That's now finish to start.
Right.
You finish a process before you start calling yourself a student. Do you see?
Yeah. Finish to start. Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me put it this way again. That is finish to start, because I really need to understand it very well. So, which means that
you know what? This is going to waste my time. I want you guys to think out of the box. Well done. You've all tried. And I know some of you now that have made contribution. I need it to come from all of you, not just few of you. Every one of you. Fumi, you have not talked today. Ade, you have not talked. Rep Major, you have not talked. All of you need to see. Chi, you have not talked. And I need all of you to. I don't want anybody in my class that has just come to participate. I need you to learn. Are we clear?
For us to get it straight, sir.
Yes.
Finish to start. Can we say the bricklayer doesn't, have to finish plastering before we start painting?
Exactly.
Does that go for finish to start?
Exactly. If they don't finish laying the bricks, can you start plastering?
Plastering, okay.
That's finish to start. But when we talk of start to finish, is different. Start to finish means, except I start, you cannot finish this. They are two different things.
Okay, except we start the roof, they can't do the POP.
Yes. No, but if you look at it in the context, it's very simple. I just want to.
Please, I don't think my mind.
Can we then say that?
I just wanted to think out of it. Can I leave this for today? And then on Tuesday we'll come back to it. Can I leave it to go and think more?
Good to get it here.
She said no.
I have another example. If we can maybe think out of the box together, can we take an example of a journalist who wish to write a report about a particular topic or a politician or a city? For this journalist to write this report, for it to be published, an editorial staff need to edit this. So it starts from writing the report or the article, and this article requires an editing process. For it to be published, it has to be edited and published. So from writing the process, editing it by an editorial staff, and then published from start to finish. Does that fit in?
Okay, what you are giving me, thank you. What you are giving me is linear. You are giving me step by step, starting something and finish. No, you are not seeing it from the perspective of dependencies. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want you to look at it from the perspective of dependencies, not from the perspective of linear things that happen in life.
Yes, not sequencing it.
Not sequential. You are looking at sequential work. I'm not looking at sequential work. I'm looking at dependencies. What I'm saying is this. Oh, I want this person has been working for me. This person cannot say that he has finished his work except something starts.
Okay.
Oh, sir, but if the writer does not finish doing the writing, the editor cannot edit this article.
Okay, Toyin a story. Can we say if an interview is not granted, the editor or the publisher cannot publish a story?
If what? Please say that again.
If an interview, maybe we are writing about a personality. If an interview is not granted by the person, or we are writing a biography, if an interview is not granted, then we can't write the story or we can't publish the story. Does that suffice?
Publishing. What you are saying is, if you don't finish this, you can't start that. That's what you are saying.
Yes, sir.
But what I'm asking is, you cannot start something except, we're talking of start to finish.
Start to finish, okay.
Not the other way around.
Let's go.
For example, let me give you an example. One of you gave an example the other time. The person just didn't finish it. The person was talking about wedding and all. All right. Mm-hmm. For example, if you're a wedding planner, all right, like that person, I just wanted that person to finish it a little bit, to say, except for you to call yourself a successful wedding planner, for people to say a wedding has taken place, what would happen? Look through wedding process and tell me. Look through a wedding process.
So would it be that if see, I know you're talking to me, so right, okay. So that would be that after the party, the couples will go home, the participants will go home successfully, and yeah, it would be a past tense, and then they will start living as a
Okay,
company.
let's leave this for today. I want you to think more,
Oh
guys.
dear. Oh
I'm going to
dear.
leave. I'll leave you with this.
Also,
Oh
Good
dear.
evening, sir.
I leave the puzzle. I leave the
Good
puzzle.
evening,
Oh
sir.
my God.
Good evening. Yes.
Yeah, start to finish, like in construction, maybe you need a green certification at the end of your project. So for that to happen, you have to get a BREEAM assessor, a BREEAM AP to the project, and the guy has to register the project. He has to register the project and get the right people to work within the team. So the shareholders have to meet first. If they get the BREEAM assessor, the BREEAM AP, the AP invites the design team works on the project, and maybe they set the criteria. There are some criteria they need to meet at every stage. When he has to tick it up that yes, he has to register it on the BRE, then he has to, when it's done, he has to check that they've been making progress according to the steps. After they've done that and completed it, sends back the review that, okay, this is what I've assessed and this is what I've noticed. And yeah, this building is fit for purpose, or this building meets this criteria for this certification. Is that start to finish?
Yes, that can be start to finish, but it needs to be clearer.
All right.
That can be start to finish. For example, now, let me give you an example. You are working on a project. I see, I'm looking for task. I'm not looking for a whole project itself, but I'll give you a whole project as an example. You are working on GDPR regulations projects, all right? And you keep working on it, except like the example you are trying to give, except the assessors or the people that are coming to assess the project. What you are trying to say is they want to see that you guys, you've met requirements. Until the time they start to do, even when they start, you cannot claim that you finish. But until the time they come in to start auditing, you can't say that you finish your job to produce it. And in some context, you will see that the example you are giving now, in some context, you'll see that even when the auditor starts, there might be some things you want to try quickly to make sure you fill up so they wouldn't find a gap in your work. Is that correct?
yes.
But the project itself would have finished. The moment they start, that project is finished. The moment auditors step in, the moment auditors walk in to the organization, your project has ended. Once they start auditing, now I know some of you heard of Facebook. You heard the fine that was laid on them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They first had $5 billion on them, $5 billion. I think about 3 months ago, another fine was given to Facebook, 1.5 billion, right? Why do you think the fine was given to them?
One can say was given to them because of the feedback that came after the project has been launched, and some lapses were discovered based on feedback that came from users.
Okay, it has to do with data compliance, all right? And that's one of the reasons organizations will hire you. They want you as a delivery manager, as an agile project manager, to manage a project for them so that all the compliance and every other thing's requirements are met. When they come to audit them, they will not be fined. They will see that, these people have actually met up to, the pseudonymizations have been done. Oh, people's details are not left out there. They are not playing with people's data. So the truth of the matter is, the moment an auditor walks in to start to work, to check all the things that you have, you cannot say you are working anymore, because they would have given you time to make sure that you put your paperwork in place. Auditors will not just walk in in advanced world, they won't just walk in without prior notice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes when GDPR came, they gave everybody like over a year to get ready. In some cases, they could give you 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. And they would tell you, we will fine you if you are not compliant when we come. So you've started the project, but except they come to start their auditing, you cannot say that you finished. You can put it in that context if we want to use the example you are trying to raise. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But I'm looking in the context of task that you would do within task, related task that you can do, that you say, oh, if I don't start this, I cannot finish that one. And you all do it, ladies especially. Ladies, you have a lot of that. You all cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have to, in order for you to, you have to start cooking in order for you to eat dinner.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
That's wrong, because I
I'm not
can
gonna-
order takeaway. I don't have to wait for you to cook. I can do Uber Eats.
Okay,
But it's
guys.
have to deliver
Because
you
of
have to
time.
order it for you to eat.
I'm having first page.
Because of time, I'm going to leave this now. I needed to still work more on this. All right. You remember we spoke about business case. Did you work on business case? I told you all have to do that together.
Yes, we did.
Business case and
Together.
project charter. Did you do it?
We didn't know we needed to do it together.
But that's
We
what
did
I
it
asked.
together.
What's a business case? And what's a project charter? Okay, let me help you with this. Right? Hurry up, talk. So that we can...
A business case is a document that shows the justification why a project is necessary, why a business charter tells us the aims, the objectives, the stakeholders, and the approval from the stakeholder or the owners of the business.
Okay, all right.
Can I add to what you have said?
Yes.
A business case evaluates the benefits, the cost, and the risk of alternative options. And it also provides the rationale for a preferred solution. And then project charter is a short document used in project planning that outlines the key aims and the benefits of the project, which means so it's like a glance guide that shows why the project is taking place.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can talk, then I'll go.
All right, because of time, let me just say this. I would want you to practicalize this by actually working on a business case with maybe your business analyst or whoever it is, and also when we talk about project charter. Now, your business case, both of you that talked, well done. At least it shows that you've read some things, Google, no Google, but in reality of it, when we talk of business case, yes, it's a document, it's a justifiable, it's a tool. We use it, it's a tool that we use in project management to justify why a project or program is needed. And not just that, the benefits are also outlined in it. Does that make sense? You don't want to commit a significant spend to something that is not going to be worth it at the end of the day. I asked you the other time, I said, what is the shortest, or what is the shortest numbers, or what can we say, the smallest phases that you could have in projects. You remember we talked that in project we could have different phases, right?
Yes.
So how many phases will be the shortest that you can have, as I ask all of you?
Start and finish.
You said two.
Start and finish.
Yes, sir.
Because at the start of that project, one of the deliverables that we must have at the start of every project is the business case. And what do we have in a business case? It stipulates why this project is needed. That's why if you tell somebody, oh, I have a project, I have something in mind, they will say, can we see your business case? When you are looking for sponsors, what would they ask from you? Your business case. They want to see how you have outlined your understanding of that project and how is it going to be profitable. Has this been drawn just to favor the society? Or is it for the organization to make money? Or is it for us to be compliant? There are various reasons why we do projects. But don't forget, we add an example of a program. So if I want to do a justifiable business case for the property we spoke about, I said I'm building a house. We would have to create a business case for that house. A project charter is a subset of that. The project charter targets the projects, not the program. We don't draw up project charter for programs, but your business case can stay on a program level. Project charter will feed into your business case. And some of you have said something good. Within your project charter, you find who is who within the project. The costs within the project, and so on and so forth. I want you to read more about that. Is that okay, guys?
Yes, that is.
So when we look at it, we also spoke last week about the program office. You remember? And we tell you what they did. Then I gave you this organizational structure, and I asked that I want you to go back and look for how to make some things just for an example. Just to say, you have the sponsor at the top. You have the director here. You have this program manager here. You have this one here. You have the portfolio manager. You have the program manager. You have the product manager. You have, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, when you look at the structure, it comes like a loop where you have the portfolio, you have the program, and you have the team level. Can you see that?
Yes.
I brought this because it's important for you to see that the hierarchies are there. You, from the team level, a project manager is operating here. A program manager is operating up here in the middle.
Okay.
Does this make sense? A Scrum Master is operating here. The Scrum Master will report to somebody that is up here, the delivery lead. Does that make sense? Your Agile coach will play a supportive role up here, supporting everybody to understand Agile processes, Agile ways of working. Now, when we now talk, and this is what now leads us, based on what we discussed, we will then come into the toolkit that we spoke about. You remember we spoke about toolkit, we spoke about the approach that we're going to have. We talked about the control that we're going to have, especially if we're working in Agile. Then we spoke about the reporting. These three pillars are critical in project management. And for Blue Sky Citadel, I need you to create something for yourself. Everything that I've put here is just an example. Does this make sense?
Yes.
The way to get your hands dirty is for us to create something. So when we talk about framework, that's what will now bring us into something like this. This is a sample framework. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So you have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Don't forget, how many stages are the smallest we can have?
2.
2. So which means it's possible for me to start a project on the discovery phase, and from discovery phase go to deploy and close. Why? Why? Why do you think that can happen? What can necessitate that?
The feasibility study you carried out might show that the project needs to, I think.
I want you to be bold. Please tell me boldly. What you are saying is making sense. I want you to be bold to say it. Feel free to make mistakes. Let me tell you, you've got to be vulnerable. You've got to be willing to make, because whatever you, even when people laugh, I love it. If I make a mistake and somebody laughs at me, I'm happy. You know why? I can never repeat that mistake in my life anymore. So
I was saying the feasibility studies, maybe if you carried out the feasibility study on a project, you find out that carrying out this process or this method will not work. So you've discovered that and you've deployed and you had to end it that. So you have to go back again to stay.
Thank you very much.
You have to go back again.
Thank you very much. That makes a lot of sense. And that's it, guys. That's the reason we have that discovery phase. Because we want to try to make sure somebody has a brilliant idea. And he has an idea. His idea is that he wants to do something that will make people to be fed in their bed. He wants to create a tool, a machine that you don't need to get off your bed. You can become rich in your bed. Just sleep, keep sleeping. And then you get food, you get everything, don't get up. He wants to create an app that can facilitate that. And he said, this project is going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. And he wants to spend a lot of money on it. He would employ you as a project manager. He would employ business analysts. He would employ great people to be able to analyze what he has in mind. And listen, the fact that a project works or a project does not work does not affect your success. The fact that you have actually discovered that this project is not worth doing is part of a success for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I know some of you, all you'll be thinking is, if I don't deliver the project, no. The reason we have phases and projects is because we've got to be sure, is it worth it for us to do this project? If it's not worth it, then you don't have to do it. And that's why, okay, I give you an example. There was a company in America that they wanted to create Pampers. And they gathered, you all know that Procter & Gamble does Pampers, right? Procter & Gamble. Another company wanted to do this, and they want something that will be good, something that will be of the best quality, something that would stand out. And they gathered some guys together. And when the business analyst, the project manager, and the expert, the SMEs, they came together, when they did the discovery phase, they advised the billionaire that this project is great, but it's not going to work. And he said, what do you mean? And they said, because by the time you commit a significant spend to this, how much do you want to sell the Pampers? They discovered that the Pampers will come out very expensive. While others are selling Pampers £5, $7, $5, for him to break even, his own Pampers will cost $25. because of what he set out to do. They told him, they advised him, but he wanted to do it. He said he had the money. He wants to do it. No, he just wants to stand out. So he did it truly. And he fired those people that advised him. He gathered some rogues, some cowboys that came, and they didn't look into all those things. They just started work. They were just making their money. Ladies and gentlemen, when they finished that project, guess what? Another company in China was doing exactly what he wanted to do.
Right.
His own cost of production was over $10. The cost of production for one was over $10. Guess how much those people from China are selling theirs?
Let's do it cheap.
With all the transportation from China to America and everything, their own exactly the same product. Their own came to about $3. His own cost of production was $10. Theirs, how much they want to sell is $3 per one. Who would leave $3, same quality, to go and buy $25? When I'm not mad. Are we together?
Yes.
He lost the money completely. The company folded up. If he had listened to the experts, would he have lost the money?
No.
He would have looked for alternatives. He would have looked for other means to be able to save money. I was telling some of you the other time, I said in one of the projects or program that I led, in that program, I had a budget of 10 million. The budget they gave me for the year was 10 million pounds. And they trusted me to say, Femi, that's what we have. Spend it. Let's see. But we want this, we want this, we want this, we want that. Guys, when I sat down to look through, I discovered that I cannot hire people from the UK. For those of you that were on the call, when I was talking with you, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Why is it that I couldn't hire people from the UK, guys? Why?
The cost of living.
The cost. Because one person in the UK will cost me £850 per day or £1,000 per day. Guess what, guys? The same quality of work or even better, I will get somebody in India that will do the same job for me with $200 per day. Who do you think I will go for?
The Indian person.
So if you see that people are struggling to get a job now in IT world, that's one of the reasons. I'm giving you a secret today. All right. Am I happy about it? No. But I have budget constraints. So I needed to talk to my resource managers that don't look for people in the UK for me. I want offshore. Because offshore guys are willing to work for me. They will not work for 4 hours or 5 hours. Those guys work like jackass. Some of them, when I'm in the office or when I'm at home, some of them will be sending messages to me at 9 p.m. that they are still in the office. Oyinbo man will never do that for me. What are you saying? By 4:30, Oyinbo man would have carried his bag. By 4 o'clock, he's gone home. And it will cost me more. And now I have somebody that will do double or triple the job. And yet I will pay the person, I'll pay the person like 20% of the money that I'll pay the guys here. You can't blame me now. Would you blame me?
Oh, no.
So these are part of the things that you are learning from experience. Okay, guys, I can only share this with you because I do this every day of my life, right? Yeah. If you go to somewhere now, that the person teaching you only knows project management. He doesn't do it every day of his life. Will he have the example that I'm giving you now?
No.
It's
No.
not easy. So when you look at it, I need us to create a framework, and I want you to do it yourself. That's why all these things that I'm putting here is just a guide for you. That's why I can delete it at any time. I want you to tell me, what framework do you think will work best for Blue Sky Citadel? This is what we call a sample framework. You have the discovery phase, where people carry out some activities to be sure that, yes, it's worth it for us to do this. Then from there, we go to plan stage. This is waterfall in essence. And that's why we call it Wagile. You have combination of waterfall and agile.
Okay.
Now, when you get to the third stage, that's where you have implement, test, and release. Now, if we want to be agile, what do you think we can do, guys? If we want to be agile, what do you think we can do in this framework? Think out of the box. Think for me. Think, guys. What can we do? We want to make this to be agile, this same framework.
To deliver iteratively.
How? We still need a framework. Because you see, one of the myths that people have is they think because you are working in Agile, you don't do documentation. It's a lie. We do documentation even in Agile. It's just that we don't do heavy documentation.
Would it be using the sprints?
Yes, but how? How can we do that with this framework?
Putting it as a story?
Okay. See,
Could we
let me help you.
change? Okay.
Go ahead. Somebody's saying something.
I was going to say that could we change our approach or styles? So, for example, if I use BA as an example, and I'm talking from some of the things that we have learned, whereas in some organization or the standard is that you write user story, acceptance stories, and so on and so forth. Whereas some people they don't follow the sequence anymore. They just write it as a statement, which means they are trying to reduce the amount of time that they use in saying this is following a particular framework, but they are still getting the same result. So they've removed all the conditions or preconditions that has to be met, but yet getting the same result.
Okay, yeah, but you see, statement is not the same as user story. And even in Agile, see, I'm an Agile coach, all right? When we teach people, I don't want you to even, because in some context, if you don't put what is necessary in the story you are writing, you will mislead your developer and you will have a lot of rework, and you don't need that. That's going to cost us more problem. Somebody is raising his hand.
For us to be able to go agile, I believe on the stage 2, we don't need to stick to plan. We work based on empiricism, on what comes out, and then we check and adapt. We inspect and adapt.
Well done. I love that. If we want to be agile with this framework, if we want to be better agile, we can actually, it's not just that we reduce stage 2, we can actually remove stage 2 completely. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
I hope I'm not stressing your brain too much.
No.
Making us to think.
No.
Okay,
No.
good. So we can take out stage 2 completely, guys. And we can have discovery, implementation, test and release stage, and then we have deploy and close stage.
Okay.
Why? Why did I say that? Because in our implementation, we would have incorporated the aspect of planning because we'll be planning in cycle. What I'm showing you now is a Wagile, safe Wagile framework. If I want to make it agile, I can take out stage 2 completely. For every stage that we have, there must be deliverables. There must be things that you will do as checklists. There must be what we call exercises, activities that will produce deliverables that will make you say, we finished this stage, let's move on. So because of that, that's what makes it typically waterfall. Does this make sense, guys? And that's what we do. If you look at this, do you remember the waterfall that I showed you when we started? Where's that water? Okay, I'll show you next time. It's not here now. I don't want that to delay me. So if you look at it, can you see in waterfall, we have requirements. Except you finish requirements, you wouldn't go to design. Except you finish designing, you wouldn't go to implementation. Except you finish implementation, you wouldn't go to verification, which is testing. And then we now talk of maintenance. But the world has gone beyond that. Look at it. You want to do all these projects in our world: mobile application, website, e-commerce, mobile, data migration, data, cybersecurity, and many of them. All these things, application development, you will see that all these things are very complex things in our world now. It cannot work by these things on the right anymore. So if you look at the stages that I gave you earlier, I gave you stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, isn't it? Stage 1, you want to see that in stage 1, the purpose why we do discovery is because we want to ensure that the prerequisites for initiating a project are in place. So stage 1 helps us to answer the question, do we have a viable and worthwhile project? Except we do some of the activities in stage 1, it may be difficult for us. And some of these activities, you don't need to do them. I've just given you an example. So there's some of them that you will do, some of them, and that's why I want us to design something for your organization. Are you guys following me?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
All right. So we have assembling the project management team. We need to do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obtaining scope statement. We need to do that. And that's what some of you are talking about, because in obtaining scope statement, we need to talk about how we create. That's what is going to help us to be able to create our business case, isn't it? Or the project charter that we'll do later. You see that? We need to know the scope of work if we're going to work in an agile way with it. Don't forget, this is a blend of that. So you might want to look at this. You want to prepare your standard project management strategies, whereby we talk of how are you going to manage risk? How are you going to manage communication? How are you going to manage quality? You just want something as a guide to help you. And then you want to know who is who, your stakeholder analysis. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you don't need to do all of these. I have just given you this as an example for stage 1. For stage 2, I will just give you an example as well of what you might want to look at. You want to plan. You want to make sure that, okay, I need to have a budget. I need to have this. You know, in Waterfall, we have what we call UML. You all know about that, right? we don't do UML anymore now. And I'll take you into what we do. Rather than following some of this, in Agile now, you will see that rather than doing this in Agile, we don't do all of this anymore. If we jump from this stage 1 to we remove stage 2, stage 3 becomes stage 2, this is what we're going to do. After in that stage 1, this is part of what we're going to do if we're thinking of Agile. Can you all see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
That's why you are called an Agile delivery manager or Agile project manager. That's why you are not a traditional project manager. A traditional project manager does not understand what I'm sharing with you now. Are we clear? Sorry, my time is gone. We're supposed to finish 10. I forgot. Sorry, I got carried away. When I'm training, sometimes I get carried away. Okay? Should we stop here, guys?
No, we can go and summarize this first. The note is good. It's sweet.
Would it be okay for you to just finish this so that we can at least have the
it depends on you guys. I'm happy. Yes.
We can finish this. Yeah.
We can finish this so that we can at least the assignment you've given us, we can have an understanding of how to actually put that. Yeah.
So you see that in delivery management, I'm not going to be thinking of all the paperwork that they are asking me to do here, plan, assemble, and control. What I want to do is I want to go straight into design thinking. What is design thinking? Every organization is customer-centric now. Every organization, even post office, everybody has gone online. Tell me, when last did you get your statement from your bank or from your phone company? Except for those of you, pardon?
You just download it on your phone.
That's it. Any one of you that is still receiving it, they are charging you for it.
That's
because they will charge you for inconvenience. And you don't need the papers because you can easily download it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in Agile, a delivery manager is thinking of clear and continuous understanding of the target market customers. What are the customers facing? What problems are they facing? And what do we need to do to solve that problem? So a delivery manager is thinking out of the box, understanding the problem, and then designing the right solution. And that's why you will see that at the beginning, what will he do? He would assemble the project management team. The people that can help him to understand the problem. He's not the one to understand the problem. They've told him what is happening. He needs the help. Don't go there as the guru because you will mess yourself up. That's why you need people, you need the analysts, you need those guys that understand it, the experts, to be able to help you to understand. That's why we do what we call discovery. Can you see discover and define? Can you see that? Can you see what we call Gemba works?
Yeah, Gemba works, yeah. Gemba,
Once you do the Gemba works, it leads you into persona's definition. I don't know. Some of you have been business analysts, so you should understand what we mean by persona definition, right? You don't know it.
I do.
Is everybody clear with persona definition? If you don't know it, talk now.
No.
Clear.
Not clear. So when we talk of persona definition, it's a fictitious character.
Okay.
You get a picture of somebody in your brain, in your mind as a customer. And you then enforce some of the things that that person might need onto what you are trying to build. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
We'll delve more into this. But for tonight, what I just want you to do is to understand the fact that when we talk of framework, in framework, it is adaptable. We adapt framework to suit an organization need. So what I want all of you to work together as a team is to come up with a framework for me based on what I've shown you now. Can you do that for me? Do you see why you cannot rest? Some of you that are, you think it's a joke. The work that I gave you on Tuesday, you've not done it. Now I'm adding to it. I know one of you has said this is adult class, isn't it?
It's still a very serious
Adult, it's advanced adult class now.
This is advanced adult class, eh?
Now we understand why the name is advanced.
Yes. My God.
If you
Yes,
want me to
people-
relax, if you want me to mellow it down, I'll water it down for you.
No, don't go.
No, don't. Just give us the raw material.
Don't go.
That's the good.
How can you
So-
water it down?
I need you guys to go back and I need you to really work on this for me. Now you will see what I have done on the third stage. I've put something here. And I made that third stage to be agile. I make it to follow the loops of plan, do, check, adjust, which is some of the things that we do, regardless of the framework that you follow. Either you are doing Scrum, you are doing Kanban, you are doing extreme programming, whatever framework you are trying to follow. If you are doing Scrum, in Scrum, we plan before we do it. Isn't it? You know the ceremonies of Scrum, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have your planning, we do it, and we check to be sure that everything is fine. On a daily basis, your Scrum Master will meet with the team to ask, what did you do yesterday? What would you be doing today? Any impediments? But the main check we're talking about here is when you have your review meeting. When you meet with the stakeholders, when you meet with the product owner, and you demonstrate what you have done. And they say, oh, yeah, that's good. That looks good. Or they say, that's not what we need. And they now ask you to go and adjust it. Or you act on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I need you to follow this for me. All right? You have the organo chart to work on. Sorry, guys, it's a lot, but you've got to do it.
So we have to do all of them as a team.
Well, as a team, that's the way for you to learn. And make sure it's not one person that, because if you leave it to one or two people talking, they will be the one gaining. The rest of you will be losing. You think you are cheating them, they are gaining. Every one of you must learn to be able to do it. If somebody is working, get your own computer. Don't stay on the phone. You'll be cheating yourself if you do that. All right, guys?
All right.
Right.
Any question?
Yes.
I have a question in relation to our assignment on framework. I didn't get what is really expected of us
Okay.
to do.
What
If you
is
can help
expected of you is to come up with a framework for Blue Sky Citadel. I've given you an example of a framework that an organization follows.
Yes.
So at Blue Sky Citadel, right now, Blue Sky Citadel does not have a framework. And we want to design a framework for Blue Sky Citadel that will say Blue Sky Citadel framework. You remember, if you go anywhere, they will say, do you understand project life cycle? I'm sure you've heard that, right?
Yeah.
Software project life cycle. You've heard that before.
Yeah, yes.
This is what they're asking you for.
Okay.
When they say software development project life cycle, that's what they're asking you for.
SDLC. Okay.
Exactly. So when you hear, oh, do you understand SDLC? This is what they're asking you for.
So they're asking for the framework.
The stages, yes. What stages do you go through to develop your software?
Sorry, Femi, just to clarify that, because as far as I'm aware, Blue Sky is fully agile and it's Scrum that is used. Is that what you're asking us to define?
Yes, I'm happy for you to do that, but there must be framework. Being agile, no agile, as a delivery manager, it's important you have a framework. And don't forget, I told you, you can make this to be agile by doing what?
Following the plans as on stage 2.
That's it. Listen, there is no how. Tell me, oh, we are agile, when you wouldn't have substantial roots if there is no framework. Every organization has it.
Right, okay.
Did that answer your question?
Sorry, can I just ask, what is BID documents?
PID, we call it Project Initiation Documents. You don't have to do it, like I said.
Okay.
But anywhere you go, you see, there's some of the things you've learned. Like there's what we call change management process. It's a whole lot of a world of knowledge in its own. We have the people that we call change managers.
And we also have change agents. Is it the same?
Yes, yes. That's the same. But when you say change agent, a change agent could be anybody that is used to effect change in an organization.
Sure.
We also have the people that we call risk managers. It's a big world. So, and I don't want you to be myopic in thinking, to think it's just this little thing. Project management is more than that.
Not little. So who are change managers then? If change agents are...
Change managers are people that understand change process and they support an organization to effect the change process. Change agents are people that have the knowledge of change and they can be used to influence other people. Your change agent could be a manager, your line manager could be used as a change agent. People at the top can be, because when those people talk, you listen to them. Change agents are people that support us to achieve the desired change that is needed in an organization. Don't worry, we're not talking about change management today. Another time we can talk about that. All right?
Please, what do you mean by what's the meaning of HLL?
All right. So this is what we do in Waterfall. For those of you, we don't do it anymore. That's what we call high-level requirements.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So before, we would say we want detailed plan. We would say we want detailed plan. Do we still do that anymore?
No.
We've changed that into iterative planning.
Yeah. That's right.
When you talk of detailed plan, that's what we do in Waterfall. But if you are working in any government organization or even some private organizations now, they will still ask you that they want 6 months, they want 1 year plan. In Agile, we don't encourage it. Guys, the time is going. Yep. Can we stop here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we'll keep talking till 12 midnight. I'm not tired.
But in this class, very interesting.
Can I just ask a question? Okay. Could you please signpost us to material where we can actually access the right materials?
Okay.
Even if we want to read up.
I'll try to do that. I'll try to do that. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. Let's call it a night. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening, everybody.
Before we come tonight, is it possible we always have, we can have the topic in the next class for us to read ahead? Or should we just
I
come?
can give you, but I need you to do my own work first.
You're correct.
Wait, let's do our assignment before.
Okay, we'll play all the assignments that will start with a new framework of getting it earlier.
Yeah, but all these things have been given to you. They gave, because I have actually given them the outline, and they've told you that today you've been studying framework, isn't it?
Yeah, they sent it today.
So they should have sent that way before now. All right.
Now we can read ahead of time.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Good
Yeah.
night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Everyone.
And consumer. Carl, what do you think, Andy?